So,
who is this?
We all know this guy. This is Rick.
Wow, so good.
And thankfully, they've decided to keep him on and not get rid of him because he's the source of so much inspiration.
Where I can find the self-imagination.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So if you don't know Rick, if you're new here, let's just run you down. He is what we call a white monkey.
Yes.
A white monkey is a person that gets a job in China to either promote Chinese propaganda or whatever, just based on their ethnicity, right? Or their race. So that China will say, we want a white guy to say that the Chinese government is good.
Wow, so good.
So he's a presenter, and he's a presenter for Chinese state media, which is run by the propaganda department.
For Xinhua, yeah.
Most of the stuff he's done is relatively harmless. It's just like, wow, we're going to visit this lake. It's beautiful how the government's cleaned it up.
Wow, that's a little too much for me.
Again, it's been quite harmless, right? But I get, and we haven't noticed them using him very often, but they just pulled him out of retirement. And wowzers, are they making him go the extra mile?
Yeah, how about we just watch this segment for a little bit? We will stop and talk about it as we go along, but let's just start out so you guys can see what it actually... In fact, I'm going to take us out of here.
Chinese President Xi Jinping has always impressed the world with inspiring remarks that shine with wisdom and vision. If you'd like to learn more about his governance philosophy, please tune in to our new show, Dictionary.
No.
Dictionary. Dictionary.
No.
I got to stop it right there.
You gotta be kidding me.
Dictionary.
Bro, they've gone like over 5,000, over 9,000.
Isn't this the stupidest thing? I got to ask the audience, isn't this the stupidest thing you've ever heard?
Bro, I thought Loong was bad.
Dictionary.
Dictionary.
What, are you going to go buy a train chic it? You know?
What are you going to do? Bicycle?
Yeah, ride your bicycle to the Shivan 11 to buy a pop shekel. What is this sheet on? This Dictionary.
What is this sheet?
Yeah, go take a sheet.
Yeah.
You know? Come on, guys.
I mean, you could go all day with this, but listen, they've done this thing where they've been trying to make, and I'm not joking, they're trying to make Xi Jinping thought, which is this almost Kim Jong-esque philosophy on politics, which means that it's the dictator's way or the highway. Yeah. It's just one of those despot things. But
study his way of thinking and all that. But dude, a dictionary is something the world doesn't need.
They've lost it.
Don't need that.
Do you remember how under Xi Jinping, what's happened is that they've consolidated it so that there's only a core member group in the CCP now.
Yeah.
There used to be at least a couple thousand people you could bounce ideas off if it wasn't a democracy at all, but at least there was some leadership in there, right? Now it's one dude, and it's gotten to the point where there's imagine it's just me and you, and that's where the ideas stop. Imagine what our show would look like if it was just us coming up with things with no inspiration.
No, not even just one of us.
Just one of us, yeah. And I had to you had to bounce it off me or vice versa.
Yeah.
And then you get rid of me or I get rid of you.
Yeah, if you say something I don't like, I'll just fire you. You know what I mean?
That's where we're at, and that's why you get Dictionary.
Dictionary. So let's take a look at what the Dictionary show is all about. I'm pretty sure you can guess that it's just basically about praising Xi Jinping.
If you don't know, Xi Jinping is the dictator of China.
Yes.
So this is it.
And it literally says on there Xi Jinping Dianzi, which means Xi Jinping Dictionary, if you want to know what the actual translation of that is. Yeah. Okay. Dictionary.
Wow.
Yeah, so let's...
this passed some board. Someone said, yes, this is good.
Yeah, there is one little thing I had to mention when he does the intro here. He says something here.
Chinese President Xi Jinping has always impressed the world.
Has he always impressed the world? And wait, he's always impressed the world with what? He's always...
With inspiring remarks that shine with wisdom and vision.
Okay. Name one thing that Xi Jinping has said. Does anybody know one? Because apparently he always impresses the world with his remarks that are full of vision and all this nonsense.
I can finally have a rebuttal for you.
Okay, one thing.
你的生活在这里方便吗? This is, and so you guys, we don't want to feel like you're left out. non-Chinese speakers out there. One time Xi Jinping went to a village and said, "Is your life convenient here?" to a farmer.
Yeah.
And they framed that
Yeah, the
quote.
farmer then got that sentence written in calligraphy, framed and put up in the room because Xi Jinping said that.
Yeah.
So yes, I don't think he's impressed the world. I think he's impressed himself.
Yes.
And other CCP members who have to kowtow to him, and maybe a portion of the Chinese population who worship him as a god.
Do you think he knows about the Shiktionary?
This is top-level state media.
Dude, you know what's nuts? Rick got this gig.
Yeah.
Rick is Rick is important.
Sure.
What the heck happened?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's obviously important enough to introduce the Shiktionary to the world. Anyway, let's find out what the Shiktionary is all about.
If you'd like to learn more about his governance philosophy, please tune in to our new show, Shiktionary. Shiktionary. Shiktionary.
Are we low-key like promoting the Shiktionary segment?
Yeah, because it's ridiculous.
We're doing more promotion than Rick.
Yeah.
In the first edition of this program, we will be taking a look at putting people at the center, or 一人民为中心.
Rick!
How long
Rick
have you
hasn't
been in
learned
China?
Chinese and he's been there how many 20-something years?
Yeah,
Rick.
I mean, I'm not trying to say that we're very good at Chinese, but his pronunciation is freaking awful. Just saying.
That was a humble
The leader
brag.
of the country has always stressed the importance of its people. Their happiness and well-being have continued to be his primary concerns.
Makichise, sa tauna kaltimalia, ilungi dem pirilotisa, slong twas pastika alwano, yana da puno.
There's quite a few things I'd like to break down here, but let's continue anyway. Let's not get too hung up.
That's the quote.
Yeah, that's the quote.
Central
Let's carry
tenet
on.
of Chinese culture. The original aspiration and the mission of Chinese communists, 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 Chinese communists is to seek happiness for the Chinese people and rejuvenation for the Chinese nation. Serving the people wholeheartedly has been the fundamental purpose of the century-old Communist Party of China. From a grass
Yeah, so first of all, I love all the stock footage of the smiling, happy people all in different color grades and stuff.
I'm clenching my my stomach muscles because this is nauseating.
It is
this
pretty
is
bad.
truly nauseating. This is so bad.
Now, this happens in a lot of dictatorships and so on. They try to sort of deify their dictator to say that he's such an incredible person that suffers so many hardships to bring good to the people.
Yeah, this is actually a really China thing too. It's not only a dictator thing, it's really like a Chinese dictator thing, because in China they'll take the dictator who's already like deified, right?
Yeah.
And then elevate him to a position where it's absolutely outlandish to think that he would even talk to a normal person.
Yeah.
Like it's such a sacrifice, right? And you can see it. They did that with Mao. They didn't do it so much with the other leaders, and they definitely do it now with Xi.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Just look at everyone's burnt to leather over there, and he's the only one who
Yeah, because
isn't.
they have to go out in the sun all day and work.
Yeah. Anyway, let's just try not to interrupt for a little bit so people can see this propaganda.
Yeah.
Roots party chief to the leader of the party and the country's president. She has always kept in his mind an unchanging mission to do practical things for the people. In October 2015, he proposed the philosophy of people-centered development for the first time at a key meeting of the CPC.
Yeah. I just wanted to look at that quote, okay?
Yeah, sure.
So if we go back, let's make sure I got the date right. In October 2015, this is according to Rick, okay? In this lovely Sky Don't Lie thing. In October 2015,
he proposed
the philosophy of people-centered development. Now, okay, this is another little trick the Chinese government does a lot. It's like they propose a philosophy. Doesn't mean they're going to follow through with it, right?
Yes.
And they can say, like, China, plans to reduce carbon emissions by whatever, by a huge amount. And just because they say China plans, everyone in their mind thinks like, oh, China's doing it. No, it's a plan. It's not necessarily ever going to come to fruition.
Almost nothing comes to fruition.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just saying it's like a way to trick people with words.
Yeah. It's also ridiculous to imply that this is a people-centered government when the government has no social programs for the people.
On top of that, people can't vote. But I like the fact that it's only in 2015 that he proposed a people-centered development. So my question is, before 2015, before he proposed this, what kind of a centered, development was this? Government-centered?
Yeah, I guess so.
Anti-people-centered?
What's the other option?
Profit-centered? I don't know what is it, but they obviously didn't care about the people previous to that, prior to that.
They still don't.
No, they don't. You're right. I thought it's kind of weird, right?
Philosophy of people-centered development for the first time at a key meeting of the CPC.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just curious about that,
She said it is a philosophy that should be followed in everything we do in advancing economic and social development. President Xi himself has consistently placed the people at the forefront of his heart.
What?
Yeah.
What is the forefront of your heart?
Here's the thing, right? Who said that? And who did Xi Jinping walk out there and say to people like, oh yeah, by the way, I placed the people at the forefront of my heart? Or is this just some garbage that someone wrote?
As a scriptwriter in the propaganda department, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You're just making this shit up, and then Rick gets to say it on live TV or whatever. Anyway, interesting. Let's move on.
He treats the little things, such as warm accommodation, hot meals, fresh air, and even rural toilet facilities, not as trivialities, but as significant aspects of his state governance.
Okay, guys. If you are treating hot meals and rural toilets as, core aspects, significant aspects of your state governance.
They're called the little things, which means they're the core aspects.
He says as significant aspects. That shows that these are huge issues.
Yes.
Hot meals, warm accommodation.
China's poor.
Dude, do you understand? If that's going to be your top level, significant aspects of your governance, you got to worry about the state of your country, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Little things, my ass. Little things. So let's go through them. Warm accommodation is a massive issue in China, especially up north.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
How dare you say that's a little thing anyway?
A lot of people burn wood and coal in their house in areas that are sub-zero.
Yeah.
Like all winter.
And people suffocate, kill themselves a lot.
It's
every
horrible.
Winter. Yeah, it's not good. But I mean, this is not a little thing. This is a basic human level of living.
It's also not being addressed.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what is the panacea for this?
Hot meals.
Yeah. Hot meals. Yeah. I mean, think about that. If that's a significant part of your governance is to focus on making sure people have hot meals, that means your country's pretty screwed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fresh air.
Yeah, fresh air should be a big part because we all know the sky don't lie in China.
I'll get into that later.
Yeah. All right.
And even rural toilet facilities, not as trivialities.
No one goops off in that restroom.
I guarantee it. Yeah. Oh man, the smell's just too overpowering. I know. I was there.
I was there too. I can't look at it anymore.
Anyway, let's move.
State governance.
Let me get us out of here again. Okay.
He stood in heavy rain talking with frontline workers.
Okay. I sorry to keep pausing this here, guys, but this is how propaganda works, and this is why it's very important that we just point it out.
Yeah. This is where the worship
stood
happens.
in heavy rain talking with frontline workers, and they show this picture. Now, when you hear this, he stood in heavy rain talking with frontline workers, it sounds like he's doing something incredibly heroic and uncomfortable and something that most people wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Look at the picture.
Yeah.
He's literally strolling with an umbrella.
On a road.
While, by the way, the frontline worker doesn't have an umbrella.
Yes.
Okay. Who's soaked. You can see he's soaked. Xi Jinping's just literally walking around with his umbrella in a drizzle. Okay, and they're making it out as if he's doing some heroic effort.
But like, this isn't a main propaganda piece, right?
He stood in heavy rain. Okay, that's not heavy rain. I've been in heavy rain. Okay, that isn't heavy rain. All right.
So heroic, standing.
Standing, yeah. Imagine that. Okay, but it doesn't stop there. Let's carry on.
In heavy rain, talking with frontline workers. He has walked into farmers' barns and kitchens.
What a heroic man.
Into farmers' barns and kitchens.
Can you imagine having to walk
into
a kitchen?
Me. Oh, me heart.
Yeah, or you walked into a barn? This dude is so incredible. What an amazing man.
I can't believe what the sacrifice he has made for us.
Imagine having to walk into a barn and then a kitchen. And, on the same day? What else has he done that's so incredible? Let's see.
Check the menu at nursing homes.
Whoa, dude. He checked the menu at a nursing home.
He didn't eat from it.
No, he just checked the menu. He's like, what's on the menu today? And they're like, something. He's like, snot pork, I'm out of here. Yeah. So imagine that, checking the menu on a nursing home. And he stressed virtue to young students.
And stressed virtue to young students.
How difficult.
Oh, man, this poor man. Yeah, he's like, virtue. Yeah.
This is what's important. I'm going to stress this.
Yeah, virtue.
And everyone's like,
yeah, they're like,
he said it. He must be so tired.
I know, he said virtue. This poor man.
Used his voice. Oh, man.
The thing is, you look how they like trying to raise him up by saying he's done all these really
monotonous things,
self-sacrificial things that he's done. Stressing virtue to young students doesn't come to mind as a big ask. You know what I'm saying?
Like someone said, this is like politician stunts. Listen, when you watch politician videos and they're doing the campaign trail and all that stuff, you get those vibes where they're like, oh, and he went to this town and he riled everyone up, and everyone said, they're not going around. He walked. He opened a door. He sat in a chair.
Yeah.
He walked into a barn.
Yes.
It's not like the most monotonous task. The things that are highlighted are like he visited Iowa or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Anyway, let's see what else he's done, this heroic man.
She generally enjoys spending time with the people. The Spring Festival, the most significant traditional festival for Chinese people, is a prime example of this. For 12 years in a row, she has established a tradition of connecting with everyday citizens ahead of the festival, a time when families across the country get together for family reunions. Just days ago, President Xi made a pre-Spring Festival tour to Tianjin, during which
always.
You know,
they just can't get a good day, can't they?
No, I mean, this is the official propaganda, and it still looks like crap.
Because it's polluted as hell.
Yeah, I mean, if they could, they would have painted the sky blue for his visit, but it's not possible.
They should have.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
They tried, probably.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Spray. They probably took spray paint, blue spray paint, and we're like,
why is it floating
like up
away?
in the floor? Yeah, it's like it's not working.
And all the staff looks like Smurfs.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, let's see what else happened here.
he visited a village in Xiqing district to learn about the recovery of farming activities after last year's floods.
You notice that part? He didn't go there during the floods.
No.
He wasn't there. By the way, whenever any kind of disaster happens, including the COVID outbreak, any of the flooding, Xi Jinping disappears. He's never been at the front lines of any disaster or any problem. He'll go a year later when it's like, oh, make sure everything's safe. Now I'll go like ask them about like, hey, how are you recovering? Feeling okay? Good. I don't really give a shit, but I just thought I'd ask. That type of thing. Right? Have you noticed that?
Yes.
He's never there. Okay. What else? Let's see.
He also visited people affected by the floods there. Here are some photos with touching moments that I'd like to share with you. This one captures him visiting people in disaster-stricken areas in Shanxi amid cold winds and snow at the beginning of 2022.
Why is that? Like, listen.
Yeah.
Why does that matter? Because the other people have to not just show up for 10 minutes. They have to live in that, right?
Yeah, and they have to stand there for hours waiting for him to get all ready for the show.
Why are we supposed to feel bad for him? He's the leader of the country.
Cold winds and snow.
So what?
Remember, this is a touching moment. Remember, Rick says he wants to share some photos of touching moments. Now, this is Xi Jinping. The poor dear is suffering because this is a disaster-stricken area. I'd like you to look around at this disaster-stricken area, by the way, where everything is totally fine and standing straight, and they've got new couplets on the walls, new, signs for prosperity on the walls.
They're not going to do it in front of a pile of rubble.
Yeah, but the thing is, you hear disaster-stricken area, and you're thinking a touching moment. Now, if it was a rubble and he was there helping out or actually concerned,
and it was a candid photo,
maybe it'd be a touching photo. This is not touching. The dude is wearing a freaking fur hat, a very warm coat. The snow is light. It's not like a sleet, wind, hailstorm or something. But this is supposed to be a touching photo. In fact, it can't be that cold because look at the poor girl standing behind who's wearing literally an apron and a sweater.
She looks like she's shivering.
She's probably died from pneumonia after this because she had to stand there for 3 hours while Xi Jinping developed a monologue.
Yeah, developed.
He developed it and then spoke it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm just saying, like, the way this shit is framed, excuse my language, to say that this is a touching moment, and then you look at it and it's anything but. It's a regular photo of a dude standing around in not a terrible situation, just chatting to some people.
Yeah.
Who are forced to listen to him.
It's true.
Not touching, is it?
No.
What else have we got, Rick?
This one was taken during a 2019 inspection in Chongqing. Despite facing slippery stone steps and steep slopes, he...
Despite all that, the thing that the people have to walk up every day, multiple times a day.
Maybe fix it so the villagers don't have to literally do that like morning and night. But oh no, he had to face slippery stone steps and steep slopes. My word, this poor guy, he had to stand on a slippery stone step.
No.
How dare they put him in that situation?
Despite all of that, what?
Yeah, well, let's find out. Yeah, he went up steep slope. Whatever, there's one photo. They probably carried him on their shoulders or airlifted him up there.
Hiked into a village nestled deep in the mountains to learn about local poverty alleviation efforts.
Of course, they threw the poverty alleviation effort into it.
There's a petition in the chat, by the way.
What's that?
To wipe Rick off of the soundboard because he's lost his good faith. Because we used to think of him positively. Like fun little sidekick of, state media, but never going too deep.
Yeah.
This is too much.
Yeah, it's what?
Wow, that's a little too much for me.
He should have said that when they pitched this idea to him.
I like how Xi Jinping had to go walk up a slippery stone step to learn about poverty alleviation because he doesn't know anything about it.
No,
he had to go.
They banned talking about it.
Exactly. What the hell?
They literally did.
Let's see what else is going on here. Oh, yes.
I remember that moment.
I just want to quickly show everyone the absolute hardship that this man has had to endure here.
Poor guy.
These steps are potentially a little bit crooked and slippery. Potentially.
Yes.
These steps, which are actual steps.
Yeah.
It's not like just a bare hillside. It could be, he could be walking up a mud hillside or something. Hillside, where there was a mud slide.
Could turn into a hill slide.
It could.
If
It
it's
could. He
slippery
could
enough.
slide down.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, this is a touching moment. Remember, this is one of the touching moments from Rick's photo album, which he keeps under his bed, I suppose, with next to a toilet roll.
Yes.
Let's take a look at this, though. The effort, the absolute strain in that man's face as he puts one foot in front of another onto a stair.
Yes.
What a brave man.
The petition is now morphed into reinstating the Rick sound on the soundboard, but with the reverb diarrhea fart at the end.
Yes, not a bad
That
idea.
should be it.
Here, let's see what's next. What else has Rick got for us?
And in the photos taken in Beijing, he joined ordinary citizens in making dumplings.
Hanabuki, pardoniana todo daila. Si faluto enti.
Yeah, I mean,
Ordinary. Can you explain to me how that is not demeaning sounding? Like whoever wrote the script, and certainly Rick when he's reading this, doesn't he think, wow, this is probably not going to fly?
Yeah.
How bad does it sound to say he joined ordinary citizens in making dumplings? What is it? You just deified someone and made everyone look like subhuman.
everyone's
What are they
subhuman
doing?
to him, yeah. I mean, also, it's in Beijing, so he didn't even have to, go anywhere. He rolled out of his bed into, a a little place which has been all set up for him, and some ordinary
citizens.
Some peasants.
How dare you
some
say
peasants
that?
came along and he made dumplings.
Just say citizens.
Yes.
Just say citizens. He joined citizens in making dumplings because isn't he a citizen?
Yeah.
Isn't he the people first at the
He's
forefront?
a super citizen. He's the king citizen.
We just found a plot hole.
What's that?
The people are at the forefront of his heart. Apparently not, because they're just ordinary citizens.
No, they always put citizens and people first in front of the cannons, for cannon fodder. You saw Tank Man, right? Who's in
Tiananmen
front?
Square
Who's first
massacre.
there?
I see.
It's a human. There's a human there. They're putting people first, in front of the danger. He will always be last.
Yes.
At the end, behind.
Remember the quote, the famous quote?
Which one?
The foreign forces will be bashed and bloodied against the
the iron grate, which is the Chinese people.
Yeah.
While I sit in my little
throne.
Throne room, while you guys all die on my behalf. Anyway, let's see.
Dumpling.
One more time.
Pardoniana todo da ina. Si faludoenti.
Decorating windows with paper-cut crafts.
I mean, the fact that they make a thing out of the fact that he went up to a window and he just did one. They had like one prepared for him, and he like stuck a piece of paper on a window.
The difference is like you can do all this stuff, do the photo ops or whatever, but you don't need to do a play-by-play explanation. That's what cheapens this so much.
Remember, this is part of the touching photos from Rick's Under His Bed album that he wants to share to everyone here.
There is bed
You know what I'm
album.
saying? He keeps it there. Yeah. The fact that this is on state TV in a new show called Shiktionary, where they show like these amazing moments of what President Chairman Dictator Xi
I'm almost feeling bad. Like in a different timeline, if the Chinese government was more benevolent and wasn't truly evil, like trying to destroy my country and stuff, be happy to help out with some direction on these efforts here, because these videos are counterintuitive of what they want to do. Any native English speaker watching this is going to think this is preposterous.
Yeah. Wait, what is it?
It's preposterous.
Truly, though.
Yeah, truly. I wonder what else we might have here. Let's see.
And sharing good wishes for the approaching Spring Festival. President Xi is leading the Chinese nation as they strive toward the goal that he calls both inspiring and simple.
Both inspiring and simple? What is that?
It sounds boring.
Wait, how can something be inspiring and simple at the same time? I mean, and this is a goal, by the way.
Oh, yes.
The goal is inspiring.
A plan
and
and a
simple.
goal, right?
Brush your teeth.
That's inspiring. It's simple.
Yeah. I don't know. Close that drafty window.
That's inspiring. It's simple.
Yes. I mean, seriously.
This is such
let's.
nonsense.
It is nonsense.
Anabuki. Kili kalia kuka. Wantata mulira. Wonki chisa crispa grido.
Shiktionary.
The Shiktionary, by the way, can we just cap this off by saying this has got to be the most tasteless, tone-deaf piece they've done since we started the show.
Yeah.
This is counterintuitive to what they want. No one in their right mind is going to watch this. Because you know what? The Chinese government put that out in English for a reason. They hired Rick for a reason. They think that people will watch this and say, oh, he's a really good guy.
And they thought it was such a clever name, too.
Yeah. People are going to say, Shiktionary, what is that? Then after that, they're going to go, wow, they really worship this dude. This is, talk about putting yourself on a pedestal. This is just like North Korea. That's what I feel like 90% of people will think.
Just remember, this isn't for, because you get this stuff in the Chinese language propaganda all the time, but it works for the Chinese, population, because in Chinese it doesn't sound as dumb, as Shiktionary. But for them to actually take this idea and say, we're going to make this for the Western world, we're going to get our Western white monkey presenter to star in this show and present this Shiktionary, and everyone around the world is going to watch this and think we're cool and think Xi Jinping is a great man and all that shit.
It's not going to have the effect they think.
Yeah.
It's just so bad.
It's just sheet.
It is. But you know what's not?
No.
The People's Legit Army. Wait, So there's a boy band, which is made of PLA members.
Yeah.
You guys probably heard about it in the last show, but they had another performance. We wanted to show you the follow-up.
Yeah, let's take a look, guys. People's Legit Army.
We got a little world of our own. I'll tell you things that no one else knows. I'll let you in where no one else goes. What am I doing without you? Everybody in love, go put your hands up. Everybody in love, go put your hands up. Everybody in love, go put your hands up. If you're in love, put your hands up.
Yes. Classic. Absolutely classic. And we'll have more presentations from the People's Legit Army whenever they drop a new track.
Yeah. Hopefully every week we'll have something from them. This is hilarious.
Give that interior a little spray.
Give it a power wash.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he taught his son to do the same.
Yeah, like father, like son, you know? Man, this audio's deep fried.
So deep fried. I love it.
This guy can herd goats, though, man.
He's doing everything within his ability.
This is the most fabulous goose ever. What's going on?
This is how you attract a crowd in rural China.
This is rural ingenuity.
Pretty epic.
Yeah.
When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my life.